Hello everyone, Fancy Photo Man here. And oh my god, this episode was one of the intense and one of the saddest in the series. And I can't believe that we lost two Chads in one episode. So like to pay respects. And make sure to smash that like button like you're smashing TV woman anyways. Let's get into the analysis. So we start off this episode by continuing off from Plunger Cameraman opening the door inside of the bunker. But there's a little new scene in this episode when Plunger Man stares straight. And then he looks to his right and hears banging at the core door. I feel like the banging was the other Alliance members trying to come inside of the base. After that, we see the last scene from episode 70 part 2 of Skibidi Toilet. We look to our right and we see a toilet coming, but something very interesting happens and Plunger Man and Dark Speaker Man turns invincible. This is very interesting to see because we know that the secret agent has done this to avoid them being seen, because we see that text on the screen again that says, transmission error, recording error. When that happens, we turn towards Dark Speakerman and see a cameraman, but this is no normal cameraman. We see a green glow on the cameraman's lights. We will deep more into this in another video. We turn back around and starts walking to the lab, and we see a very interesting thing happen here. We see scientists talking to secret agent. Not just that we can hear Secret Agent say something in this scene here, you go listen to it yourselves. I think he says you are no longer needed here. When we walk into, we can hear the Secret Agent say goodbye to the scientist and him smiling on the screen. When the scientist turns around to Plunger Cameraman, he smiles knowing that there's a soldier toilet behind him and shoots at him. When he shoots at him, Plunger Man hurries up and took the device and shuts the door. After that, scientist was trying to exit the lab, but could not due to Plunger Man closing the doors. When he got shot with the laser, Dark Speakerman decided to rush towards the scientist and tried to stab him. But unfortunately, that did not work, and he got his body ripped off. When this happens, Plunger Man goes towards scientist, and scientist grabs him. But Dark Speakerman was not dead yet and screamed out loud to Scientist Toilet when Scientist does that and stabs him in the eye with it. But when he does that, Scientist charges up his lasers and then shot him with it. And that's what caused him to lose half of his body. And then Dark Speakerman flips Scientist off. Then Scientist shoots him with the laser rip. Chad, you will be missed. You were one of the toughest character in the series. We will miss you, bro. Scientist fixes his machine, but before he can get away, the large TV man and his squad that we saw back in episode 69 has officially came into the lab and helped kill the scientist. The large TV man does a new power of the TV people that we did not know was possible. He does a black smoke beam onto the scientist toilet to make him not teleport anymore. So judging by this, we can see that the TVs has the power to take their power back from the Skibidi toilets. Scientist shoots his laser at the large TV man, but the large TV man does the bright light on the TV that makes Scientist Toilet not see and crashed into the wall. When this happens, Scientist puts in some kind of code to open the hatch and he jumps inside of it. And the TV man says something in reverse here when he did this. Listen to it. We look to our right and see Scientist Toilet come out with a new robot of himself. It seems to have some kind of design like G-Man has. He turns around to the door and shoots it. He thinks he's winning, but behind him, the door opens and it's revealed to us that the female Alliance members has come to the rescue, and they go on the back of Scientist Toilet to try and go find his actual body. And we see the return of this Chad, a large cameraman, and he looks so badass with his laser gun that he had. He shoots a Scientist Toilet to distract him from knowing that the female Alliance members was trying to find him. He gets blown up, but I don't know if he really died or not. But if he did rip, Scientist stares at him and he laughs, but his face turns straight and he starts screaming when the female Alliance members found him and Speaker Women start stabbing him. We see TV Woman in his face while he's screaming, and we also see Camera Women and Speaker Women stabbing, shooting him. And I just have to say it, this shot of the female Alliance members looks so badass. We turn back around to the scientist, and he puts in some code again so he can escape through the top hatch. But he had a surprise for himself. The hatch opens, and it's revealed to us that the Titans were waiting outside just in case something happens, and this shot of them in the sky looks so badass. Titan Cameraman grabs him, and we hear Scientist Toilet keep on saying Skibidi Skibidi, so I think that he was begging for them to not kill them, while Titan Cameraman is grabbing him. Titan Cameraman charges up his core beam and blasts the Scientist Toilet with it, and he passes it over to Titan TV Man. And we see him with that iconic Roblox chat face. Titan TV Man crushes him and hands him over to Titan Speaker Man. And Titan Speaker Man holds him and puts the fire out for him, and then stares at him for 5 seconds and starts punching him on the building until he dies, and then he drops him inside of the lab. We see a clear view of Scientist's toilet while he's dead, and oh my god, he got demolished. You can see a lot of blood and his toilet is all crushed. Plunger Cameraman takes lens off and looks to his right, seeing the large TV teleporting in with his TV cracked and broken. The large TV man says something here, listen to it. Plunger Cameraman turns around and sees Dark Speaker Man laying on the ground dying while the female Alliance members are around him, and Plunger Cameraman goes to him and dabs him up for the last time, and then the Dark Speaker Man dies. This was definitely one of the saddest moments in the whole Skibidi toilet series. We also see TV Woman's crying face. Plunger Cameraman turns around, and there is a green glow and the text saying transmission error, recording error, and we see Lucky Cameraman, and he is not dead at all. So I feel like the secret agent saved him, or he was probably faking of being dead. But I don't know why would he do that, so I will definitely make a whole video about that. But let's get back into the analysis. So we see Lucky Cameraman walking off, turning invisible, and 2 invisible cameramen shaking each other's hands. What's very interesting about this is that the 2 cameramen that we saw inside of that elevator is them, and it was not a rendering issue at all. When the 2 cameramen looks at us, we see a green glow coming from their lights, staring at Plunger Cameraman. Plunger Cameraman starts glitching out, and his colors start getting inverted, and then we cut to a scene from the secret agent here. You go listen to it.
Well done. Thanks to you, that scientist is cooked. However, bigger threat is coming. That's why certain things have to remain secret. There is no evidence left, except one thing. This battle you did not survive. Plunger Man.
He says well done for killing Scientist's toilet, and I'm guessing that's what he's wanted. He says that the battle is not over, and there's a bigger threat coming, and we see a little shot of the Astro toilet from episode 70 part 1. So seems like this is the bigger threat of the Skibidi toilets, but they are on the Skibidi toilet side. They also aren't on the Alliance side either. He says there's no evidence left except one thing, and he points at Plunger Cameraman, and he tells Plunger Cameraman that he did not survive this battle. So this means that the secret agent might have killed Plunger Cameraman, even though Plunger Cameraman was still surviving. He was not fully dead yet, so the secret agent wanted to get rid of all of the evidence that he had so weak he killed of Plunger Cameraman. We cut to Plunger Cameraman again, and we see him glitching out in a text saying critical damage, and he looks down at his body like he's like, what's happening to me? He looks up at the female Alliance members, and we see TV's Woman's sad face in camera. Women wanting to go next to Plunger Cameraman, but TV Woman stopped her. And then Plunger Cameraman looks up at Titan Cameraman and gives him one final thumbs up before dying and catching fire. After that, the episode ends. So this episode was a very sad episode and very intense, but all of the battling and death. So I have one question in mind, and it is if the scientist was the leader of the Skibidi toilets. But we already know that G-Man is one of them, but I'm pretty sure Scientist was one of them as well. So now they don't have nowhere to build new technology for the Skibidi toilets since Scientist is dead. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and I want to thank you guys for 4K subs. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Fancy Photo Man out.